brain. Welcome into his frequency. Enter at your own risk. Come be at peace with me. Ask the Paul, where we rise and don't fall.
So crucial conversations. It's helping you develop these muscles to sort of have these conversations more regularly and to identify, the basic. It says, okay, when conversations go to crucial at the blink of an eye, and what happens is we're not prepared, and we almost always handle them wrong because we don't have enough practice handling them. So the whole crucial conversations is being more comfortable with those boundaries and understanding when people are when you've stepped on some toes or when it's become unsafe and people are being like, just recognizing some of those things and just being mindful of, okay, taking a step back and figuring, okay, what are we trying to accomplish? And most of us don't really like conflict. And the people that want to address things, we feel like, they're too much. And it's like, now you calling them argumentative, but maybe they just got boundaries and they're trying to establish them. It's tough because most of us aren't. It's like a dance that only a few people know. And they're like, come on, let's dance. You like, you don't even do the dance. But it's like, I ain't know. I thought I knew the dance, So speaking of a dance and just music, we talked about we're going to highlight some of the musical moments of 2021. Troy, jump in here. Tell me when you think about the year, what some of the projects you've been listening to, artists, and what kind of some of the things, interviews, anything, sort of music related that stood out to you.
I'm gonna preface it by first saying I'm a huge Drake fan. Yeah. So
sorry to hear
I was waiting for CLB. Now, I won't lie, I like the album. It wasn't the best I heard, but I do listen to it. But I would say the year I have really been impressed by the women artists. The projects I've heard, Snow Allegra, even with
Tim's had a good one.
Jasmine Sullivan, her and Ari Lennox did. Yeah. And Summer, I don't think the last album was better, but I appreciate what she did. Still looking forward to what SZA's doing. Yeah. But out of all what the women artists did, man, this guy Lucky Daye, what he has been doing, it's just something about the grown man music that this guy is dropping. He's talented, he can sing, and he's just in one of these modes he's not missing, man.
He's giving Steph Curry vibe.
Yes, he's not missing. Like everything I've heard him on has been amazing. Are you familiar with Lucky Daye?
I know who he is. I've heard a couple of songs, but I haven't been in tune like that. But he's on my. I have a list of stuff that I need to sort of visit just based on enough people kind of say, I'm like, okay, let me listen to it. Trev, what about you, music wise?
Well,
you can't say everything your twin brother said.
Not gonna say everything. Just want to touch on the fact that Lucky Daye really is in the lane right now because all of his music is he can't miss right now, but it's all intertwined, and that's what's making it all really have a good story to it. I was really impressed with. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was really, of course, the year was Drake and Kanye. Drake always makes an album that's he always makes an album that is kind of like has some similarities or some correlations with my love life, in some way. He always speaks to me in that regard. I was solely pissed at Kanye for Donda because I just felt like it just did not live up to any expectation. But
he got some moments though.
But the whole Free Hoover concert, that really gave me a new appreciation of Kanye. I don't think that Drake can beat Kanye in the verses. That's just me now. Because of that concept, I think that Kanye would beat him in the 20 round. I mean, in 20 rounds, he would beat him probably like 12-8 or 14-6.
I think we forget
it would be heavy handed.
I think seeing that concert really made us forget like some of that like early music, man. Like it just sounds so good. I was just talking to my guy about Kanye. It was just like,
yeah,
sometimes it's not fair because he has those soul samples. So you got the production too. So my thing with Kanye is I don't know if the production sometimes overrates him as an artist because he does both at a high level.
Yeah.
So it puts him in that conversation. But it's like, man, something with those beats he picks, man. It's like sometimes that stuff is like, it's like intertwined with your soul, man. Like you listening to it, like not to sound like those guys, but just like you be vibrating on a different frequency. It's like this guy was really in tune with how he matched that beat with that song and those lyrics. And Kanye doesn't even write,
right?
But he has a way of saying, like, you know, Big Sean talked about in his interview. He has a way of saying things that would just galvanize you and speak to you.
What you mean he don't write?
Kanye, it's been noted that other people write for Kanye.
Yeah, they help him out, you know.
Yeah, but he doesn't. So here's the difference between
he has those writers. Yeah. Consequence, Big Sean.
Yeah.
It's a process with him. It's a process.
But I think like, for example, I don't think Dr. Dre's ever been a rapper, right? He's rapped. But we've seen Kanye freestyle. We've seen Kanye write for other people. He can do it. I'm not trying to defend him. He hasn't always been so reliant on writers, is what I'm saying. Is all I'm saying. And I think the MC in him that we saw early on took a back seat to let's just make the best song. Once he got to a certain level as a MC, I think he was like, you know, all right, I'm good. And you know, I'm just more interested in making the best songs. And I may need all this inspiration from all these other people now, where before maybe I didn't. So I'm not arguing. I know he has writers. But I also know we've seen him, we've heard stories about him just freestyling for an hour. He does that too. I don't know if some of those other guys could, the like the Dre's. I don't know if that's ever something Dre has ever like really done, like really in the MC lane. That's the only distinction I want to make. That's the only distinction I think
because of that, Kanye doesn't get held to the same standard like maybe like a Drake would or other people because he initially was a producer, and we understand that rapping was really like his second hobby that just panned out to be better than the first one. But he came into it as a producer, so that's why I think Kanye could get away with it. For people like Eminem, like those type of MCs, and I don't really talk about Eminem much, but I started to give him more respect now because when he works with other people and he does songs with them, he really wants to see like, are they real MCs? Do they write all this stuff on their own? So it's just him and the artist while they go over they tracks or whatever, and then they leave. So I don't think that Kanye could be put in that pedigree. So you still have to differentiate it.
I think we are, before our eyes, we're sort of watching, we're like changing the rules as we kind of go, right? It was like, we would hear Puff, we would hear Dre, we would hear Eazy-E, I know y'all young, y'all may not know.
No, I'm familiar.
That MC Light didn't write everything,
Kim didn't.
Kim didn't.
Kim didn't write her lyrics. Biggie was writing a lot of those lyrics too.
Well, the fact that Biggie basically wrote the whole Junior Mafia album.
Yeah. Wow.
And was like, okay, you go say this, you go say this. Like, that's crazy.
Cameron wrote all the Crush on You, including Biggie's hook. Cameron wrote every lyric. You get what I'm saying? That song. So it's like,
Lil C's didn't write. Low key, this is super random, but since we're talking about Crush on You, Lil Kim's album, there's 3 verses of Crush on You. It's all Lil C's on the album. Kim is not on it. They realized it was a hit.
Yep.
And then they added Kim and they made a video of it. That song is it's a Lil C's song on Lil Kim's album. So
Wow.
yeah, just a little history for y'all young bucks.
No, I like that because I'm a Cameron fan. So
I didn't know he wrote. I guess I never thought about who wrote that. But if you go back and look, it's like 3 verses, all C's. Kim's not even on it, which is crazy because it's Kim's album.
Wow.
But yeah, I think we've seen things change. Like we never put Puff, we never put Dre, Dr. Dre in those conversations, and then Kanye was so good.
Yeah.
You couldn't, and then when that Drake thing came out, it was like, oh man, everybody basically just ripped up the rule book. Really, a lot of people did.
But the question is why did they do that for Drake? And I look at it like this: it's kind of like a LeBron reference. When they wanted to put people in that greatest category, they're like, oh no. When they were a threat, they're like, no, let's put up something that's not gonna make them a threat at all. What? I think that's why Drake got attacked so heavy with the whole writing thing. The same with Bron. Like, we know Mike is the greatest, but everyone is always going to hold Dallas against Bron. So it don't even become a discussion because he was threatening, you said, in some circles, that throne. And I think that's why Drake got attacked so heavy. But for me,
I think anybody at that level would have gotten attacked heavy had we heard that they had people writing their lyrics. Like I think anybody would have gotten attacked, especially the biggest in the game.
But but people have had ghostwriting rumors. Yeah. But the thing is, Drake, he really exposed the whole process. According to him, he says a lot of people have these writing camps. You experiencing flows. Like if you look at how Jay-Z was rapping on Ja Rule beat, or Pharrell even said it himself. He said, I have given rappers a whole song with a skeleton and a concept. So on this beat, you rapping about fly chicks, and I'm gonna throw this in there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And you build off that. It's just more so Meek and his feelings expose the reference tracks.
And I want to ask you that. I want to ask you that back, Stu, because I watched the I was just, like I said, I watch YouTube all day as most people do, but I was watching the just kind of getting more up with Nelly and the Saint Lunatics and Murphy Lee and Ali and all of them. So I was watching a couple interviews, and
don't ask me nothing about Nelly because I don't. All right.
I'm not, but one thing I'm not. But one thing he did reference was that he referenced that the Saint Lunatics, while they didn't get writing credits, he did mention that they helped him with certain songs and they gave influence on the Country Grammar album. So yeah, Nelly ain't never really been no lyricist like that, but I just think people now we have to really examine what is ghostwriting, because if a person can acknowledge that a group helped him with the album, then what's the difference between somebody always going to a certain group of people like, hey man, I need to get my rhymes right, I run these through you. All right, this don't sound right, turn this into that. Like what's the criteria? What's the criteria of ghostwriting? You know what I'm saying? And is it really that bad? Like if we really look at it.
So I'm not as invested as I used to be. So my stance has softened.
Right, I feel you.
So like when Troy talk about, we watched what's the documentary when Jay was doing the Black album?
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black, right? And we saw Kanye, the Lucifer beat. We saw him rap his own rhymes to that, and we saw Jay take that flow. That's what real producers do, right?
Thank you.
Swiss used to, Swiss whole thing was he used to have a beat and a hook on the track for you.
Right.
You know, we've heard people rap differently based on who's on the track. I was just listening to Joe Budden podcast, and they're talking about the Ace Hood, the song, the remix with Wayne, and they were saying basically it became Wayne's song, but it was like that flow in that pocket. Ace Hood,
and Wayne just took off. Wayne just,
right?
I mean,
But
Hood,
could he have? Would he have found that same pocket had he not heard Ace Hood?
Hey.
You know what I mean? It's like the lines are blurry. And when you are a business like Drake and Kanye, you just trying to produce content, man. And you may have a camp. And
that's a great example.
No, you hit it on the head because like
everybody, just for that song that he used in particular, but everybody that got on that remix, they all rap like Ace Hood, Rick Ross, Young Jeezy, Lil Wayne. Like everybody that got on that remix took his cadence.
And that's why I say, like earlier, right before we start recording, I kind of like the Kanes, the Biggies, the Jay-Z, the Drakes, because it's flow and versatility. I can listen to 3 different Drake tracks, hear different flows, content, and everything. You get what I'm saying? Structure. Whereas Nas,
you can't get that with Nas.
But with Nas, it is.
Come on.
But what it is where I hear with Nas though, and I hear like a Nas is like, I'm like Marvel, or I hear a J. Cole. I hear some songs, it's like, damn, this is rap at the highest level. You get what I'm saying? Like, how did he come up with all this? Or if I hear a Kendrick Lamar, all right, like some of those things spoke to my soul. But I think I more so appreciate the versatility of the so-called bigger commercial artists.
I feel like Drake only has 2 flows, and it's pretty much one pocket.
Well, if you hear, we fans, so I don't know. You might not.
He's either, and correct me if I'm wrong. And look, I'm not a Drake hater. I think Drake is dope. A lot of his stuff sounds the same. You know, he has one sort of standard flow. It's not. It's like I think about like you mentioned Rakim earlier. You know, Rakim was the first one to say, you know, I want to see how many words I can fit in a bar.
Yeah.
I think about the air, the room that like a Drake leaves in these bars, where when you talk about a Nas fitting so many words into that same bar, I feel like it's almost a different. It's not a different league. I don't want to just say Drake is whack because I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's different intent behind this flow in this pocket versus let me get these punchlines off. And that's why he was able to have so much, because I've heard him say he'll have a line. He'll build 4 bars around a punchline. Knowing that the punchline was good, he'll write in the notes. Boom, I'm gonna come back to that. I know that I'm gonna give you some filler bars and I'm gonna hit you with that punchline at the end of these 4 bars or whatever. That's fine, but that's not Nas. That's not the way Nas approaches things. So it's almost like they're doing 2 different things. It's like I ain't gonna call Drake Kenny G, and you know Nas Miles Davis, but they're really going about their same art in a different. It's different. It's different approaches, man.
No, I get what you're saying because like, and we had these conversations like my bad, but like I look at Drake like this. I put it on a level of like Michael Jackson and Prince, right? And people might call it blasphemy, it is what it is, but Drake is a big artist. Yeah. But it's like, it was this story where this one guy said Michael Jackson had went to a Prince show. Yeah. And then Prince was playing the instrument and walk straight up to Mike and start playing in front of him. And the person that was Mike with Mike left at the end of the show is like, man, this guy's an asshole, is because he thinks that I can't reach his level. Like, he don't know I wrote Billie Jean, or he don't know what I was doing producing these songs.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And when I say that with Drake is, they kind of piss me off where they act like he's not a genius too, like Kendrick Lamar. No, he don't have it To Pimp a Butterfly, but to act like he hasn't displayed.
He has to take care.
No, he has to take care. But I'm talking about how people.
Okay, let's not put Take Care in the same.
Hold on.
Hey, we just having a
That's another
conversation.
That's another conversation.
It's
okay,
another
make your point. Make your
point. What I'm saying is, with the Drakes, the Jay-Z's, they have songs where they can hit as close to those levels of what your guys are doing.
Yeah.
But I don't think your guys can get into their lane.
Right.
Nas was shitted on for Uchiwali. You get what I'm saying? We looked at him like, bro, what are you doing?
And I'm glad we brought Nas.
But Jay-Z can do both lanes. I can hit you with, all right, give it to me.
Change clothes.
Give it to me. But then at the same time, I can get into that this can't be life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And that's what made me mad about Nas. Like, in this year in 2021, I have accepted, and now I appreciate what Nas has given to the rap game. But my biggest issue with Nas is, like, when he had great production, God Mode, Made You Look, One Mic, Nas is like, Hate Me Now, The World Is Yours. When he had great production, he was God Mode. So I just didn't understand why he never was consistent.
Yeah, like, why was it he connected with the Just Blazes, Tempos?
Was
Jay-Z
blackballing him? Like, what?
You get what I'm saying? You better off telling us that.
And at one point in time, like, he was the biggest person in the game, so I would think he could have got any producer he wanted, right?
Yeah, he could have got with the hit.
Yeah, so I think that Nas Pops is a musician, jazz musician. Yeah. He played with Miles, if I'm not mistaken. Background, right?
Yeah.
He's an artist. So first of all, imagine being 19 and your first album is Illmatic, and people are saying that you are the best who's ever done it.
Yeah.
How do you top that, right? That's been something that he has had to deal with. I was talking to Troy. I just listened to the Raekwon memoir, and he talks about the Purple Tape, or Only Built for Cuban Links, and like how just everybody was like, yeah, that project is dope, but it's not that, right?
So pretty much you saying he's always had to live up to Illmatic.
I think that's been a standard that people. I think that so when he came back with It Was Written, which is a classic in itself.
It's fire. It's fire.
But people gave him a hard time because it didn't sound the same, and it was like, yeah, but I'm trying to widen my audience, So he had to kind of make that choice. So the same with like Uchiwali, is like Jay told you what his plans were to take over the game. Yes. I think he loves music. I think he also was just as much interested in the business of music, and Nas was more interested in the art. And so you don't think Nas had access to all those guys?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, why not tap into that?
I don't think he wanted to sound like everybody because he was better than them. I think he wanted to do something different than what was being done. What Jay said.
For real? Like,
come on, you tried on something, but I say that's why it's moments like that with the artist.
But the Uchiwali thing, and even like when he came, and I was young myself, but when I Ruled the World came out, he didn't have anybody singing, no R&B people singing on the hook on his first album. People were like, he's selling out. He's always been held to a higher standard as far as the type of music we expect from him. So, a lot of people, and I'm not saying y'all, talking out of both sides of your mouth, where, you know, people that's a little older, they'll be like, oh man, he doesn't make good music, or he doesn't rap on these certain beats. But if he did, he'd be like, oh man, he's trying to sound like everybody else. That ain't what we want. We want to hear.
Yeah, and see,
You know what I mean? It's like he can't win.
Yeah. And I feel like our generation, I think Drake touched on that in his Rap Radar interview, where he says the rules are different for him. Whereas his fans be like, why you just can't give us a bar heavy album?
Drake got to do
or
it.
why you can't give us a ballad album? And he like, I'm the only one that has to satisfy multiple lanes. I got to give you a hit. I got to give you an international song. I got to give you a club banger. I got to give you a bar song. Then I got to give you a ballad. I got to fit all those into, you get what I'm saying, 15, 20 songs.
But back in the day, there was always a single or two.
Yeah.
There was always the homie song.
Yeah.
It was always the chick song.
Yeah.
And it was always the, you know, I said the homie song, the crew song, where you put a couple of your people on, but then it was the homie song, the people that you lost, right? It was everybody always had those. Drake it's a business. It's more strategy around it, and it's not the art takes a back seat.
And that's what I hate about it now too. Yeah. Where I say a lot of our music now is rinse, repeat, because now it's all about streams. Right. I'm gonna give you one verse, you're gonna get a feature, then you're gonna get a hook, 3 minutes. Like albums, I'm shocked albums not even, they used to be over an hour now. Man. Now they are like 55 minutes.
55 minutes if you lucky. 55 minutes is 20 tracks.
Yeah. 444 was what, 34 minutes.
Look, man, this is the thing. And I'm a huge Jay fan. Huge Jay fan. I think that he looked at it differently, and he wanted to be what Jay has mastered is I have songs for every move that you have.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I love Nas.
Drake mastered that too.
No, but Jay, I get what you're saying. Jay got
What'd you say, Trev?
I said Drake has mastered.
Oh, for sure.
Too,
it's the blueprint, no pun intended.
Yeah.
It's a business. And you said that, I'm making these songs for a certain audience. And more power to him, and there's definitely genius there for what he's doing, but I don't know how inspired he is.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know how inspired he is. And I think about feeling like, well, in my opinion, being so much better than everybody.
Yeah.
And feeling like you have to, like, let's say you Nas and you like, man, I'm way better than this Jay-Z guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good, but what he's doing is he's finding the hottest producers, and he's finding the hottest person to sing the hook. That's a formula that I can do if I want to. I'm gonna do something different. Right. Like, I'm gonna challenge myself to approach it differently. That's not right or wrong. It's all about what you're trying to get out of this thing.
Dang, it's 2 points before I forget too. Music, shout out to Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars, man. What they did, two of my favorite artists. What they did on that Silk Sonic was dope. But going back to what we was talking about with
that album is cool. It's not better than Anderson .Paak's last album by his solo album.
It is not. It is not at all.
Yeah,
I feel
that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorites of the past handful of years, man.
With that one that came out 2019.
Yeah,
that album was amazing.
The one with Ventura.
Yeah, Ventura.
Yeah, Ventura with 3 Stacks, Smokey Robinson.
Oh my gosh, man! Yeah. We can talk about those guys.
Chosen One. What is that? Chosen One, Jet Black. Oh my God!
That whole album, I'll let that thing play. Yeah. Shout out to Wale. Shout out to Wale.
The one with Hathaway. Oh yeah,
Reaching too much.
Man, come on, man.
I listened to that whole album
right there.
Yeah. There's only one song that I'm not crazy about on that album.
King James.
The one with Nate Dogg. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg.
Oh yeah.
I don't like it.
One.
It's the last song.
Yeah, what would you do?
Yeah,
No.
I you know, if I could get to my phone, I'm skipping it. I'm not tripping if it plays, but
But the other ones, yeah.
Nah,
yeah.
and that's what I appreciated about. But one thing I like too about the project, some of the stuff, the album, they was going a little bit too commercial, but I just really had an appreciation for just Bruno's singing and musicality.
Yeah.
It's like the way he was coming in on some of them tracks, man. It was like, dog, when you get past that pop shit, like this dude is really a dope overall artist, and he's in tune with the culture.
Yeah.
Going into the Teddy Riley, tapping into that.
He's a fan. You can see that it's real, right?
Thank you. It's not fake. It's not no whole, people was trying to call him a impersonator or like he a culture vulture. Right. Like, no, you could tell this guy was really inspired by this music being from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And he was in tune with it. And the fact that, thank you. And the fact that he got with Anderson and just the singles alone was dope. Like I said,
first off, his last album was good.
Yeah, Bruno's last album.
Yeah, he had a couple songs like the reason we feel that way about Bruno was because he had them 2 cheesy songs with Cardi B.
Yeah,
like they were cheesy, but
when you get that big, there's things that you have to do. So let me pivot to my guy Nas, just dropping his 3rd project in 15 months. On Christmas Eve, right? There's none of that. Right. There's none of that extra pressure. It's just, man, I'm inspired. I want to rap. And I'm in a really good groove right now. And it's amazing. And when you talk about technically, and then I'm gonna leave this alone, but I gotta say this. I can't just let y'all just say crazy stuff. Technically, when you hear the different pockets that Nas chooses within a song, it's different. You know, it may not be as easy for you to appreciate as somebody who's giving you a cadence that you are already familiar with.
I think that. Go ahead.
And I think that it's not always easy listening because his flows is different, the beats are different. The subject matter may not be what you're used to. Yeah. It's easier to listen to Drake.
Yes, it is.
It's easier. It's and Jay says, the whole common sense line, right? The Tyler Perry.
I for my audience.
He knew what he was doing. Yeah. He respects those guys who get busy because he gets busy in his own right. He's not going to give you an album of that because he doesn't see the value, the return on the investment, and it's no right or wrong, but you can't hate these artists for wanting to be artists and not do that.
Yeah.
So don't hate on Nas. Don't hate on Nas because he's challenging himself and he's not giving you what you used to. You got everybody else for that.
Facts.
I mean, like I said, I'm doing better with my appreciation for Nas, and then just having that understanding. Like, I didn't know that he was 19 when Illmatic came out. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, if we were, you brought the word up of blueprints. If I'm 19 years old and people are telling me I am the best person to ever have done this, then you're right. My theory or my thought process on how I would want to relay my art probably would be a little different. I wouldn't be looking for producers because I would think that, like back to this point too, Nas really thought, and I mean, he really thought that he is the content, which he is.
It's weird though, but that's why I put Nas, Rakim, Kendrick, I put Pac, I put them on like that Prince frequency.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they were such a genius. It's like, we're going to do our own thing. Prince could have got with Quincy and rocked out some hits, man. But he like, man, I can do this shit on my own.
Yeah.
And Prince, look how dope this sound.
Prince went completely away from his, Purple Rain and what he knew worked. He was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not doing that. We're hearing stuff now that since he's passed. We're like, man, why ain't he never hear that? He didn't want to play that because it was easy. It was too easy for him. He was looking for the art. I want to shout out Nas for his year. You mentioned Rakim. Nas is a lot of Rakim. If y'all don't know about Coogee Rap,
Yeah, I heard
Coogee Rap get busy, man, and a lot of his inspiration came from Coogee Rap, which we always put Nas and Rakim together. He get a lot of his style from Coogee Rap, his early style from Coogee Rap. Yeah.
LL went at him. LL went at Coogee Rap. I think didn't they have a beef?
LL went at Kool Moe Dee.
Oh, that's who it was. Kool Moe Dee.
Yeah.
In the head.
But listen to some Coogee Rap, man. It's different. He was the first one. Him and Rakim at the same time were doing things that just nobody was doing. They were like, it was just so different. It just Coogee Rap had a list and was spitting crazy. Double Time. When you hear like Big Pun, some of his flow, some of the early Fat Joe stuff, they all came from that Coogee Rap kind of cloth. So if that's not somebody that you know about, listen to a little Coogee Rap. Like he get busy. And that was Kane's counterpart inside of the Juice Crew. They were both inside the Juice Crew. They were sort of the top tier rappers of that crew. You know what I mean?
That's why I want to give Kane his flowers, because like I said, he started that big and J style, whereas where I liked with Kane can give you a song like Warm It Up, but then he'd come off and give you a bar smooth swagging on you with Smooth Operator.
And he got criticized for that too.
He gets criticized, but what I'm saying is...
No, I'm saying back in the day, it was like, what you doing this stuff for? But he helped lead the way for all the guys we're talking about now, the Drakes and LL.
But that's why I like it, because to me, we need these different artists, man, because my thing is, if everyone sounded like Nas, bro, we would hate the damn radio.
Fact.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you need different pockets of music to go into, even with us on a level where we will listen to Future. Sometimes you just need a different type of, you get what I'm saying? I will switch up my moods because sometimes I get tired of hearing the same thing from.
I'm not always want to listen to Nas, man. Look, I want to shout out Wale because his album this year was dope. I think Wale is the guy that we're gonna look back on and go, wow, we were really missing out how dope this guy. I was
on him in college. I like Wale.
I think he's incredible. You talking about ear?
He's not as big as he is.
Why are you hating on Wale? Look, man, because and I'm gonna say this, Baxter. I was a huge Wale fan. Like I'm talking about More About Nothing, the mixtape, 111 Theory.
Yeah.
You know, like when Wale, was like at his prime, but he never really materialized, bro. Like he should have, like, I think More About Nothing, the album took way too long to come on. He didn't do really well with the single Matrimony that he had with Usher. Like and then like his new single with J. Cole is,
I think you just being a hater because
he just never really materialized to me, man. He just didn't.
To me, I appreciate artists seeing their growth.
Look at his peers.
I like hearing, but that's why I said, and this is why sometimes I get tired of comparisons, because like I say, all it is the thief of joy. We don't get to appreciate these artists because we look at what others did. And actually, me and my guy Andre, we're about to come up with like a GOAT series,
right? Trying
to rank the top 50. And what it is we're gonna have like the 13 guys that people call the GOAT.
Right.
We're gonna rank them, but I think we really need to understand why these people are in these conversations. You get what I'm saying?
I think Wale is the guy who you got to go back, Trevor, and listen to the last couple albums, not just the singles. I'm talking about the productions and the stuff that he's doing. And I think he's gotten away from saying it, but he used to say like, yo, if it was Drake doing this music or Drake with this, or Kendrick with this concept, people would be looking at it differently. Do you know how if Jay-Z did an album with Jerry Seinfeld, do you know people would still be talking about it?
They would. They would try.
Right.
If somebody was able to access Jerry Seinfeld and bring him into that world and then draw and use Jerry and his sitcom as a muse to create a complete body of work. Do you know if Kendrick did that, the type of, I don't even want to say the word, but they'd be all on his jock.
Yeah, but all of the rappers this year, when they took all of their mixtapes and put them on Apple Music, More About Nothing is not on Apple Music.
It's still it got a lot of clearance stuff today. I think they're working on. He's trying though. But that ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
The resurgence.
No, he ain't never left. He got better body of work than your guy.
That's
his peers are Big Sean, Meek Mills, and and Wiz Khalifa.
But you got to think of the money though that's back behind those guys.
Wiz?
I'm talking about behind Wale. Like for even Tory Lanez to put a Chicks Take 5 out, he had to clear all those samples. He was willing to take he was willing to take a loss on that album. Not a lot of people are in that position. I'm a Fab guy, but the reason why a lot of his best music isn't on streaming services is because you have to pay for that clearance.
Yeah.
And
it's a business. It
is a business. And Wale does get caught up in it. Like I say, I'm not stupid. I know Drake has a machine, whereas he getting able to advertise on ESPN. He getting able to keep everyone on that conversation, where the bloggers get paid off his name too.
Right, because they're gonna get the hits if they just mention his name.
Thank you.
Sure.
They get the same thing. Whereas Wale doesn't get that. He has to really be out here, be musical. Now a lot of people just want to brand him. It used to happen like that with Cole. Cole just came up.
You could still see the versatility in the artist. Cole might have been one way. Kendrick might have his lane.
I forgot about him.
Drake might have his lane.
Shout out to Cole, man. He killed it this year.
Off season, Cole definitely did his thing.
Cole, he's having a hell of a year. And actually, these past 3 years, I think he's really shortened that gap between him, Kendrick, and Drake. Like, he's really like, it's those three of his era. Nah, the same with Drake, too. Because the thing is, I'm a Drake fan, but if you look at what Cole has been doing since really 2018, 2019, from that KOD album, Middle Child, a lot. You get what I'm saying? The features he's been on, Dreamville.
Right. He in pocket right now.
Yes, he is.
Let's wrap. But I want to say this.
Yes.
You think about how long it's taken between Drake releases.
Yeah.
You just applauded Cole for his consistency the last handful of years, right? Wale has really never stopped working. Mm-hmm. He dropped EPs in between projects.
Yeah, the EP with Queens and Gods on there. I forgot the name of that EP, but it had June 5th, Queens and Gods. It had to be within the last year or so. That EP was good. I will give him that, but it was like 5 songs, bro.
Look, we're gonna talk off here. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you get your the right Wale in front of you so you can. But inspiration, man. So we talked about how one of the things I pray for literally every day is like inspiration. And I didn't even understand this conversation is going to lead to who knows how many other conversations, how many other podcasts, or because that's just the way my brain works. I was under the weather a few weeks ago, and I was just tired. And my brain wasn't firing the way I'm used to it firing. And I was like, dang, I'd be taking sometimes my inspiration for granted. Like, I just think it's always going to be there. I think inspiration is a blessing, man. And I think that when you see a Nas come out of nowhere, worth who knows how many hundreds of millions, and now he's like, yeah, but I want to let y'all know I still rap better than y'all. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you look at Drake been suffering, maybe not being as inspired. You know, you look at Kanye kind of back. I thought Donda was a really good album. You see Cole back in the mix. You see Kendrick probably trying to figure out what his next move is. The bars that these guys are setting, they're in their own head trying to figure out how can they outdo it as opposed to just doing what they love to do. When a business and you start thinking about the budgets, you start thinking about the business part of it. That's not the art. That's not the art. And so some people are just, they get that writer's block because they got too many competing interests, and it's not just the art anymore.
And we can rap, but that's what I liked about Bruno, what he was saying this Silk Sonic project did for him was he just wanted to get back to the music. I mean, to the point where he liked music again, you know, and doing what he liked. It wasn't so, you know, vindictive, calculating. I'm just coming in here, letting my thoughts flow. And I like that's what Jay was able to do with 444. You're able to see Nas able to do that on these last 3 projects within 15 months, whereas they're at a point where they're set and they can just rap. Cole is there now. I hope Drake and Kendrick can get to that point because they still get caught up, whereas Kendrick, where you talked about Nas, Kendrick has to live up to pretty much 3 masterpieces he's put out.
Right.
You know, Damn being critically acclaimed, To Pimp a Butterfly. And it's like, damn, I can't even just get out and rap. Every time I put out something, y'all are expecting a classic, critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, what if I just want to just rap, man?
Right. It's too many other, it's too many competing interests. And you go from being inspired to just get on and like prove I'm better to, we gotta do this. We gotta make this song for this. We gotta, you know. And Cole has figured it out, man. Where like, you know, Cole is what Nas probably would have done had he had the access to the internet, where he could just do him, and not worry about the rest of the stuff, and just and still have his people kind of ride with him, but there's still a gap between him and Drake as far as commercial success, even though he's hugely successful in his own right. It's still a gap, right? It's still a difference as far as budgets and those machines, and kind of the return on investment piece. It's, you know, it has to be tough to find inspiration as an artist when you're thinking about all the business.
Yeah, like
that's part of it.
I think that's why I liked what Cole said. I think this was right around the time Forest Hills Drive came out. He had did an interview with a Combat Jack. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he just said, like, I just had to get to the point whereas, and he told the label, he said, I'm not going to ever be Drake. He just said that. I'm not. He said, if y'all looking for me to be that guy, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not about to make all these crazy hits. He said, but what I can do is make the music that I love and that my fans love. Fact. And he's been doing that since 2014, man. And he's been on a hell of a run. Like, I didn't even like For Your Eyes Only, but a lot of people like that. Man, what? I'm just saying I did. Yeah. Because he just coming from Forest Hills Drive to that, I was like, damn. Yes. But I can still get the project. Yes, enjoy. And even these loosies he's been dropping. What is it? Lion King Going Nice. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Everybody Gotta Die. You get what I'm saying?
He want people to know I do this.
Yes, he's out there.
That
and I hear some certain songs like that, and I'll be like, damn, bro, is this guy better than Drake? Because I compare it to like Steph. Steph is not the best player ever, but when he's hitting those damn threes from so far or hit so many in a row, you're captivated. You can't
tell. Look, you can't tell him. You can't tell Steph he ain't the best player to ever live.
Thank you. You can't tell him at that moment what I just saw. That wasn't the best thing I've seen. And that's
you can't tell him he ain't the best. You don't think that these guys. You don't think that Cole is like, let me take Drake's beat and let me give y'all a couple verses to this just to let y'all know what time it is. Like, this is you know, but that's inspiration.
Yes,
You know,
it-
that's
it's all
inspiration.
calculating. It's all calculating amongst those guys. And whereas that's where you get to what only protects Drake and I think Jay-Z in a certain level is the peers hold them high. Whereas everyone already has told them how great they are.
Right.
So it's like you fans can't even hit this realm. Whereas everyone has already called Jay-Z the big homie. Everyone is already saying we trying to hit Jay level.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, who are you guys to tell us that this guy is not the best when his peers have put them there?
It's hard to argue with the numbers that they've done.
Yes.
The things that they've accomplished.
Yeah.
You know, and you can argue about some details about some other stuff, but it's hard to argue with those stats. But stats do lie.
No, they do.
Let's wrap. Let's wrap because I got Dion waiting for me.
Yeah, you got him waiting.
So look, plug the podcast again.
Oh man, Life and Times of Troy and Hendrix podcast. You can definitely find us on Anchor, Facebook, YouTube, man. And yeah, we just pretty much give
Instagram, everything, man.
Yeah, we just give our views on sports, music, current events, and mental health, man. We just trying to be for the people. That's all.
That's what's up. This was fun. This was fun. I appreciate y'all. You know, we're gonna hopefully continue to have some conversations around this because my hope is that I can leave y'all a little smarter than I found y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm trying. Because y'all got some bad takes, and I just want to help where I can. You know, I mean, it's like, it's like charity work.
No, but that whole thing about boundaries, though, like how our boundaries have to be established and maintained.
I'm taking that.
That was huge.
Yeah, no, I'm joking, but for real, I think, yeah, what, man, these are all things that we have to learn, and the hope is that we can help shorten somebody else's learning curve that they ain't gonna take as long as I took, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So
I just want to say thank you, man. I appreciate this.
Yeah. So on behalf of Life and Times of Troy and Hendrix, I am Baxter E. Hall. Please like, subscribe, share the content. If it's something that you feel that's beneficial, man, it may be benefiting others. And I want everybody to know that you are worthy. You are all worthy. You just have to embrace your own frequency.
Amen.
All right, until next time. Peace.
Peace.
Welcome into his brain. Welcome into his frequency. Enter at your own risk. Come be at peace with me.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, share, and also hit that notification button as well. Thank you so much.
Financial literacy to authentic black history. This real rap.